Okay, last Thursday there was an international um, נו, איך קוראים לזה? Gathering of the Chabad rabbis from all the world. They came to Brooklyn, and they had a special event to promote things, different books, different holy Judaica stuff. So I went there also, and I don't know if I can show you a picture. I went with a nice banner, and a lot of people came and show interest in the book because I tried to promote the book. So we had, let me see, the banner is right here. I don't know if you can see it. One second. Okay, I'll try to show it to you in a moment. It looks like this. I don't know if you can see it. Something like that. Can you see it? Yes. There's the chief rabbi is there, our chief rabbi from the Rabbinical Court, and many other rabbis that I showed them the book. And then it was very nice. Bezat Hashem, we hope to get orders of million books so we can get a lot of people, help a lot of people. Okay, Baruch Hashem. Just to remind us and remind all the people, it's important to show people on a daily basis how much Hashem love the Jewish people. And I'm not trying to tell you that I'm trying to show off or anything like that. It's just to remember, not to forget that Hashem wants to give the Jewish people everything in life. The condition is that we have to listen to the commandments. That should be very obvious. And this Torah portion of Toldot that we're going to talk about soon, Hashem emphasized again to Isaac after he promised his father Abraham Avinu. He tells Isaac, I promised your father, and I'm going to read you what he told him, and then we're going to see it in Isaiah also, something unbelievable how much Hashem wants to give us things all the time. So the blessing that it says here, Parashat Toldot, chapter 26, verse 3. Let me see if I can find it quickly, so just to give you an idea of what we're talking about. So it says here, Hashem told Isaac, you live in the land, the Holy Land, okay? And I will be with you and bless you. For to you and your offspring will I give all these lands, okay? And establish the oath that I swore with Abraham, your father. I will increase your offspring like the stars of the heavens, and I will give your offspring all these lands, and in all the nations on the earth. I mean, can you imagine what kind of blessing is that? Right now, when you look at it, not to be political or anything, but right now, Israel is one of the smallest country in the world. They say that it's the size of New Jersey. I don't know if you know the size of New Jersey, but New Jersey is very small state. And there's all these nations around Israel, and they want to conquer Israel all the time. But Hashem, they don't know that Hashem will not let them do that, because he is going to protect us as he promised all the time. Now look what Isaiah says in chapter 49, verse 23. He says, kings will be your nurturers, like helpers, whatever, and their princesses will be your nurses. I mean, what else do we want? I mean, and they're going to do that not because they will be forced. They will realize that the Jewish nation deserve that, and they're going to do it with love, with peace. So there will be no war at that time. So Bezat Hashem. This is the idea of the blessing that Isaac received from Hashem. We know in this Torah portion, Toldot, they're talking about it clearly that Abraham was the father of Isaac. And why the Torah had to mention that, I don't know if we talked about it before, to remove any rumors that maybe the father of Isaac was Abimelech. And when he took Sarah there, so people thought maybe Sarah had, she was with him. But how do we know that Isaac is a son of Abraham? It says Abraham holided Yitzchak, and then Isaac became to be a copy, like twins, like his father. So you can tell that Abraham was the real father. So now what we know that, and then after Isaac found the shidduch, which is Rebecca, they had to wait 20 years to get Rebecca to have children from different reasons. I think we spoke about that. And now, when she was pregnant, something very, very strange happened in her stomach. It says in the Torah portion that when she was pregnant, she was walking on the street somewhere, and when she passed by, let's say, a synagogue or yeshiva, the baby was kicking like he wants to get out. And then when she passed by a church or idol worshiping, the baby also wanted to come out, so kicking to come out. So she didn't understand what kind of baby is that. One time he's Jewish kind of, and one time he's idol worshiping, and she was very confused. So she went to ask a big rabbi at the time what's going on, and he told her that she has twins. Now she understood what's going on. She understood that one baby is gonna be kind of righteous and one is not gonna be righteous. And that's exactly what happened. Now, listen to this question. It's very, very important. It says in the Gemara that every baby in the stomach, before they come out in the stomach, there's an angel teaching them, teach the baby the whole Torah. You'll be surprised. I mean, I knew all the Torah by heart. Okay, can you imagine that? I mean, it's unbelievable. But when the baby is born, they said an angel come and they hit the baby on the lip. That's why I have this space here on the lip. And we forget all the Torah, and now we have to toil from the beginning, from ABC to do the whole thing. But basically, we have it in our brain. We just have to go back and get it. Now, so they have the babies here in the stomach. In the stomach, you have Yaakov Avinu learning the Torah from an angel, like all the babies. So it says, if he's learning a Torah by an angel, why does he want to go out? If he's going to yeshiva, he's going to see a rabbi teaching, not an angel. So why he wanted to get out? He should stay there, as a matter of fact, for longer than 9 months. So comes the Masechet Avot, the ethics of the fathers, chapter 1, I think it's Mishnah 7. It says, you must stay away from a bad neighbor. Even if an angel is in your house teaching you, you better run away from the neighbor. So it's so important not to be acquainted with the bad neighbor, not to have anything with bad neighbor, or in this connection, bad friends or whatever, because they have very bad influence. And we know exactly what happened when the twins came out, when they were born, Jacob and Esau. You know that they said that till the age of 13, both of them were almost equal with the ideas, with the behavior and everything. And all of a sudden, Esau decided to be a wicked, wicked man. So he went all the way to the negative, idol worshiping. He was a killer. He was a robber. He did all the bad things. So they couldn't live together. And Yaakov knew that from the beginning. He knew that as a baby. He knew that he cannot be with this kind of brother, with this kind of neighbor. And later on, many years after that, about maybe 60, yes, about 60 years later on, when Esau came to kill Jacob, okay, and then something happened, some good happened, he didn't kill him. Esau offered Jacob to come back to Israel, to the Holy Land, and to live together. But Jacob said, no, no, thank you very much, my brother. I love you, but you know what? You go first, and I'll come after. Don't worry about it. If you take your time, go there, and I'll come. Well, he didn't want to do anything with him because he knew this is only bad news. So this is a very major important lesson for us also till today, to stay away from negative people because we know the consequences. Now it says, something very interesting. Again, in Hebrew, when you read the Hebrew, you can see many different hints and messages that you cannot see in different languages. In Hebrew, they said that twins, you say twins in Hebrew, teomim with aleph. But in this Torah portion, it says tomim, missing the aleph. So the commentators, what happened here? So they said in the case when Tamar was pregnant, she had teomim because both of them were righteous. In this case, it says tomim, one kid was not righteous. So they took the aleph, the A from the word to show you that something is missing here, something in the holiness is missing here. So this is the idea about Esau, that he was a bad news. It was bad news. As a matter of fact, this is the beginning of the hatred between the two brothers and then the two nations, the Jews and the other nations. Because Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai in the Gemara 2,000 years ago, he said that Esau, it's halacha, Esau hate the Jews. What can we do? Now, of course, there are many non-Jews that are righteous people, and they're helping the Jews, and not through the history. We know that, no question about it. But we're talking about the majority, and as we know today, you see almost in every country. Maybe few countries are not so bad, like Argentina. I mean, they're very friendly, and some other countries, I believe, that are very friendly, but most of them are the anti-Jews. So what can we do? This is the history. We cannot change that. Only Hashem can change it according to our deeds. So it says that Esau was born very red skin, red hair, and red in everything, but extremely red, not just, like red. And he said that I don't know what he did, but he created major damage to his mother when he was born. And he did not do Brit Milah, a circumcision, because they thought that he was sick or whatever, because the blood pressure. Anyway, and some commentators said that he didn't do Brit Milah circumcision at all, to tell you that he is still not holy like Yaakov. Yaakov Avinu did it on the right time. As you know, Abraham Avinu did not do it after 8 days, but when he had Yitzchak, his son, he did it after 8 days, like the Torah said. And since then, since Yitzchak, all the Jews do it after 8 days, and including Yaakov Avinu, of course, in the 12 tribes. Now, just to remind you about how the level of purity in the Jewish people became the highest during Yaakov. Abraham Avinu had two sons, Ishmael and Yitzchak. So he had to get rid of some of the impurity through Ishmael. Then came Yitzchak Avinu. He had also two sons, and he had to get rid of the rest of the impurity through Esau. Now came Yaakov, and he married with his wives, and he had 12 tribes, with the Dinah is 13, all of them 100% pure. That's why they call them the pure tribes. All of them were born 100% kosher with any doubts. So that's to let you know how Hashem created all this process to have the Jews be the chosen people. He was preparing the ground for that. You remember that Hashem was waiting 20 generations from Adam to Noah, then from Noah to Abraham, till he found Abraham. And then it says that only 26 generations after the creation, the Torah was given to the Jewish people. So we said 10 generations from Adam to Noah, 10 generations from Noah to Abraham. Then we have Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Then we have Levi, the son of Yaakov. Then we have Amram, the son of Levi. And then we have Moshe, the son of Amram. He is the 23rd generation that received the Torah. Okay, so that was the whole thing to prepare the Jewish people, and nobody can say that it came from nowhere. You know, Hashem built the whole way, the whole road for the Jewish people to receive the Torah, and with a lot of common sense. As we see, started from Abraham Avinu, the first Jew. Okay, now after the twins, the Esau and Yaakov, Esau and Yaakov born, we said that Esau became to be very wicked man, and the Torah says that one day he went to do his business, which is all negative, and he came back home and he was very hungry. The rabbi says that he really did 5 major sins, major sin. One of them is killing, raping, and I don't know, do some other things that so he was tired and came and he asked Jacob to give him something to eat quickly because he was very hungry. He said that he's going to die. Now that was the day that Jacob was preparing food for the Eurozeit, or not, the day that his grandfather died. Abraham Avinu died at that day, and he was preparing food for the meal to do for all the mourners at the time there. So Esau came to ask for food, and Jacob was very smart. He said, "Listen, you want food before he's gonna die? You need or you must sell me the birthrights. Okay? If you do that, I'll give you food to eat." So you say, "No, what? Don't worry about it. I'll give you everything that you want. Just give me food." Now, to show you how animalistic he was, he didn't ask a plate with food and to sit down. He said, "Listen, I'm going to open my mouth and you pour the whole the whole pot to my mouth." He was so, he was really bad person. So they made this agreement, and they agreed that he is gonna sell him the birthright for the food that he got. And that was a major discussion to know really what happened there. But according to the Torah, everything was done right. And Esau agreed to give up on his birthright. So now Jacob became to be the firstborn, kind of. Now, why is it so important? Because we know later on that Rebecca heard that Isaac telling Esau, by the way, the Torah mentions that the twins were born and they grew up a little bit. It says that Isaac, the father, loved Esau, and Rebecca loved Jacob. So now, when he was an age to go and hunt, he told him, "Listen, my son Esau, Isaac thought that he's going to die. He said, "Listen, go and hunt some food for me. Come back, I want to give you a blessing. This is a major blessing." So Rebecca heard that, and she knew if Isaac will give the blessing to Esau, that's going to be a major catastrophe. So she told her son Jacob, "You go and pretend that you are Esau in order for you to get the blessing." And you can read about this idea in the Torah, books and books and books. Whatever Rebecca did with Jacob was right or wrong, but according to the Torah, it was 100% right. But there's different commentaries, of course. Different people say they have their opinion. So Esau was very hairy man. You can touch his hand or his face or whatever. It was like mamash, a, a lot of hair. You can tell the difference between normal man or Esau. It was like, when you touch a sheep or something like that, you can tell it's a sheep, So he was like that. You can't go wrong with him. Anyway, so Rebecca gave Jacob special clothing with the same feeling like the hair of Esau. So he put the clothing on and he came to his father and he said, "My father, I brought you the food that you asked me to go. Wait, I came back quickly to give you the food." So Isaac was touching him and I listened to his voice. He said something that every Jew knows this sentence. Every Jew. He says something's very strange here. The voice is the voice of Jacob, but the hands that I'm feeling here are the hands of Esau. What is going on here? It looks like he was confused, but according to some commentaries, he knew exactly what's going on. But that's what he said. Now, what does it mean? Hakol kol Yaakov v'hayadayim yedei Esav. The voice is voice of Jacob, but the hand is like Esau. Listen to this idea that it is so true since then till today. It's amazing. It's really mind-boggling. I call this, it's a nuclear idea. Okay. And we use it in Israel all the time. It depends on the situation. And in Hebrew, it sounds very common, very familiar. The word call, voice, in Hebrew, it's kuf vav lamed, call. In the Torah, it comes one time with kuf vav lamed and one time without vav, only kuf lamed. So what's the idea? You don't have to know Hebrew, just to give you the idea what the Torah talks about here. It says something very simple. When the Jewish people have the voice of Torah and praying seriously and very hard, then Esau's hands are very weak. He cannot touch the Jews. When the Torah is a high level, nobody can touch the Jews. But when you have the call without the vav, it's very soft, very, you barely can hear the yeshiva, you barely can hear the tefillot, you barely can hear the Jewish people, coming to Hashem. Then the hands of Esau are really strong and he can control the world. So you see, the whole thing, the whole idea since then till today, if the Jewish people get together and they have strong Torah, strong praying, nobody can touch them. I'll tell you a story from the Torah, and you can check it out. It's you can find it in the Torah. I'll tell you the story quickly. There was a man, a king, a righteous king. He was the son of King David. He was so righteous that he was supposed to be the Mashiach. Okay? And he decided that all the people in the Holy Land, men, have to know the Torah from the age 6 to the age of 120. All of them must know. If they don't do that, they will be penalized and punished. So they said that everybody knew the Torah by heart. Okay, fine, great. So he did what Hashem asked him. Lo and behold, the king of Babylon decided to take over Jerusalem and to destroy it. And he came, according to the people that tell us the story, he came with millions of soldiers, millions of soldiers. He came to Jerusalem and he came the night of Pesach and he said, "Excuse me, this is Jerusalem, this is a joke. I mean, we can take it over with no time. So we're going to wait till tomorrow morning and we'll just go and burn the whole thing." So that was a Pesach night, okay? The king Chizkiah saw what's going on up there. He did not get excited at all. He was not afraid. He said to Hashem, listen to this. It's unbelievable. Hashem, he said like this, Hashem, I did my job. Everybody knows the Torah as you asked. I'm going to go and drink the 4 cups of wine for the Seder. and I'm going to go to sleep. And now you're going to do your job. Can you believe the level of emunah and bitachon, confidence in Hashem? And that's what he did. He went, he finished the Seder night, the Pesach Seder, he went to sleep. Now, imagine this. It's written in books, not only in the Torah. From all the millions of soldiers that were there, only 6 stayed alive. Well, why 6? To show there was a king and his some brothers, to show them don't mess around with the Jews, and they ran away. And it's amazing when we do what Hashem tells us, right? That Hashem takes care of us. We don't have to do much. And by the way, just to make you feel good, I mean, if you're interested in what we're saying here, soon it's going to be, every day is going to be Shabbos. Every day is Shabbat. So now think about it. What are you going to do? How are you going to eat? What's going to happen? Don't worry. Hashem knows. He has the plan for us. We're going to sit, study Torah. Food is going to come to us. People will serve us. And okay, that's just a side comment. Anyway, so this is a story about Chizkiah. Now, he was supposed to be the Mashiach, but he did not become to be the Mashiach because it says that he did not thank God the right way. He did not say Hallel, like, big thank you. Anyway, but he was very righteous man to the end of the days. So we go back to Esau and Jacob. They cannot get together, and we know that. So now, when Esau came back from the field to bring his father the food that he asked, his father told him, "Excuse me, who are you?" I said, "I'm Esau. You told me to go get you some food." So Isaac was very scared, and he said, "Sorry, but somebody was here before you, and he got the best blessing. What are you doing here?" Esau, now listen what happened. When Esau heard that, now this is what I'm going to tell you now. It's really, again, it's a principle that works all the time since the history. Now, remember, Esau was a wicked, strong man. When he heard that somebody stole, and he found out that his brother stole his blessing, you know what it says in the Torah? This man, the wicked man, he said that he was crying like a baby. He was screaming and crying. How could it be that you gave my blessing to somebody else? Now, what does he care about the blessing? This man, what does he care? To show you that the blessing of a tzaddik like Yitzchak Avinu will happen, will come true one day. So he knew that his brother tricked him, and he said in his heart that he's going to take a revenge. However, I'm going to read you the words that he said when he found out that his brother stole the blessing from him. It says here, "Vayitzak tza'aka gedola umara." Let me see if I can find it in English. I marked it here somewhere. And why here? Okay. Esau said here, when Esau heard his father's words, he cried out an exceedingly great and bitter cry. Great and bitter cry. Now, this comes to show us that what Yaakov did, according to the Torah, right or wrong, it's Hashem told him, Yaakov, one of your descendants will have the same situation, and they will gonna cry the same way that Esau cried, the same way, the same exact words. And what happened about 1,000 years ago, years later on in the history, when Haman and Ahasuerus in Purim time, when they had the decree to kill all the Jews in one day in 127 countries, when Mordechai heard that decree, it says that he said the same thing. He was screaming and crying like Esau did from before. To show you, this is a principle. Measure for measure. Measure for measure is something that will ever happen to us. It can be good, Baruch Hashem, and it will be not good. So if you do something good to somebody, be sure that Hashem will pay you the same way. If you say something good about somebody, somebody else will say something good about you. Okay? And the same way in a negative way. So we have to be careful what we do and what we say, because this principle works all the time. It's called measure for measure. I mean, try to think and for in the past things that happened to you in your life, and you see that it really works. So try to just do good things, so Hashem will pay you good things also in return. So now when Rebecca heard that Esau wants to kill his brother because he stole the blessing, she told Jacob, listen, my dear son, you have to run away as quick as possible because your brother wants to kill you. So there is different questions. Why did you have to do that? Different answers, but that's what he did. He says that he really, listened to his mother. The mother convinced Isaac that this is the best thing for him to do, because in this area, she told him, there's no chance that he'll get married to a righteous woman. So he had to go away to the old country and to find a woman over there. So we'll continue with this idea, Bezat Hashem, next week to tell you what happened. And I'm sure most of you know about what happened, but different ideas, different concepts through the whole process. So Bezat Hashem, again, if the Mashiach will not come by next Sunday, we'll continue with this class. And I hope that everybody will be well and happy. And if you have any questions, I'm here.
You basically answer what I was going to ask you because of the trick done by Jacob. The thought that I was thinking was the stumbling block. But another question that popped up in my head is, what exactly was the bracha that was meant for Esau?
Well, if he was supposed to get the first blessing, the original
Mm.
one, then he would get everything, the land and the world to come. He would get everything that the blessing that I showed you before, that Hashem gave Abraham and Isaac, and then as
Mm.
Isaiah said also. So he would have everything, and we will be like almost in the sideline, like getting the leftover, like Esau got the leftover. And Isaac gave him only, he's going to have a good fruit, good life, and a good, only materialistic thing, only in this world, and that's it. Which means
Right.
that's really basic, no big deal. But Jacob got everything, this world and the world to come. Yeah, that's why he was upset.
I bet. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. All right, Baruch Hashem. So we'll see you next week. Good health, happiness, and only good news. Kol tov. Bye bye. Take care.